Bayly Holmes-Ovcon was founded in 1970 and specialises in commercial building construction.
Yeah, so now we've gone from a company with a market cap of about 45 billion US dollars down to the largest South African construction company, which is this one, with a market capitalization of less than 10 billion rand. So that just shows you, as good as our companies are and as highly regarded as they are operationally, these are pretty small operators, even by our standards.
And they, of course, over the last while, they have become smaller and smaller and smaller.
Bit of a checkered run, although this is the one that's done the best.
PE ratio of 11.7 and a dividend yield of 2.9% here. So let's have a look at the share price graph. Considering this, as you say, has held up better than all the other players. In fact, that's a solid performance of late.
Why is that, Gary?
Yeah,
Tell us.
I think it's again it's a function of the construction sector turning around a little bit as well. So I think we last discussed the sector in February. We called this one hot. We said it's the best of the bad bunch, and since then it's done almost 30%. So
do you hold it in your portfolios and clients' portfolios?
We also don't hold it. Again, it's just the cyclical nature of construction stocks, and as Paul says, the volatility in the earnings that really has us a little bit concerned. But absolutely, if you're looking at if you're comparing this to the other South African companies, or at least construction companies, it's cash generation is significantly better. Its track record is exceptional. You speak to anyone in the industry, the management, upper level management, but it's not just top level management. It's all the way through the layers is absolutely exceptional. They treat their contractors and their managers very well. It allows them to retain the talent. And I mean, you speak to anyone in the construction industry, and you say, what stock would you hold? They all want WBHO.
Operationally, that's true. So if you've got a building, if you drive up Rivonia Road here in Sandton, you just see one mega project after the other. These high-level buildings like the Discovery head office, the new Sasol head office. I don't know for sure, but those buildings are often designed at the cutting edge. They've got all sorts of internal double volumes and strange hanging floors and what have you, all by way of concrete and glass infrastructure. Those are the kind of projects that people go to Bayly to because they've got the best operational management on the ground on site.
So if you really want exposure to the construction industry, and I just want to put in there the caveat that I do think that is linked to underlying economic growth, because the construction industry follows the growth cycle in a country. So given the low growth scenario in South Africa, even though Bayly Homes is the best of the construction stocks, would you consider buying it?
Yeah, like we discussed on the last show, if you're picking a construction stock, you're really going for that deep value play. You're saying, I'm going to wait essentially for the cycle to turn and I'm going to ride through it. Looking at WBO, I mean, it is the most expensive in the sector by a long way. If you compare in PE terms, Murray's to WBHO, it's almost twice the price. So you're paying
and they all will recover. If we did see strong economic growth coming to the fore, they're all going to recover.
But I take your point as well. So I mean, we look around Sandton and we say, construction must be doing fantastically well because there's cranes everywhere and everyone seems to be building new projects. But a lot of these are private projects. It's not coming from the government infrastructure spend. So other than Sandton, a little bit on the north coast as well.
Mining is quiet, government is quiet. Power stations tailing off.
And again, what we were saying is if the mining sector starts to turn around and you get a more broad-based commodity recovery, a lot of these sort of underground operations that the likes of these guys operate in will pick up. But you're 100% right. At the moment, Sandton is sort of a sweet spot for private sector construction, and maybe Menlyn and a little bit out in all of Africa, but really the rest of the country is fairly quiet.
Before we call it, let's get the share price graph up again.
That certainly looks quite toasty, but I'm afraid I'm going to kick off and say that I don't like the sector enough, and I'm worried about confidence levels leading to stalling of long-term property and other developments. I'm going to go not hot.
Hot or not?
Yeah, also going to go not hot. We were hot previously, but I think with the share price run at the moment, maybe looking a little pricey.